Well, we're not lost here on the desk because we're now going to be flying over to Erangel for our next 3 matches. It's match 10 of week 2, and we only have a few more opportunities. We need that double chicken dinner for someone to claim number 1.
3 more goes at things, James. This is coming down to the absolute wire. I'm a little stunned that it's come this far, if I'm honest. I really thought we'd have seen a double by this point. But it's just not been the case. Keep in mind, last week we had 3 teams able to double down, claim 2 chicken dinners. One of them was BBL, one was DA, and one was VP. Bear in mind, BBL and DA have been barely able to get onto the board, so what a difference a week basically makes here. Rich, what are your thoughts now?
Well, I mean, it all comes down to these next 1 or 2 games. If we still get winners that have not yet put a point on the board, like we go down to that final matchup and essentially it's anyone's game, right? It's a complete catastrophe for the final one. I'm all for it. I think it will be interesting if we do get to that point. It's not something I've yet to cast over or see unfold, for Europe yet. I don't know. It makes it interesting to say the very, very least. The one thing I do know is this flight path a little bit more rougher for anyone who does like to loot towards north and northwest. Makes things a little bit more difficult. No one over by Georgia Pole just yet. Obviously, you can get the vehicles and go crack on and get up there, which will probably lean to a more middle pack, a very busy area. Look at BBL, look at Veneer. Veneer just yellow. Going to grab the vehicles and try and steal what he can away from it, but we're going to have VP in the mix, DA in the mix. And the circle is there for the head of that pack also.
Do they beat the likes of Liquid to where they want to be? Will Liquid now be forced into a slightly different compound? How does this compress? Because all the teams know this is more than likely going south, and this is exactly what we mean. SMB laying in wait, gonna just tear apart the opponents. Until then, Yuri's still on his feet for now, gets out of the vehicle, goes for a bit of a wild spray, but he will lose his life in Hall of Game. Go down in 16th.
Also another pull-up on the side, FaZe plant. 2 members down, though. Plenty of damage on the side of Na'Vi. Trying to get a few shots in as they were looking towards scouting that. It was a 2-2 split. Good little driving skill from Alia. Puts him around the corner and out of the safety. But my word, the damage has been done to Na'Vi. The commitment FaZe are actually being pulled through the ringer this time round. They've had to fight a few battles to get to this point. Almost losing Gustav earlier on, but they do recoup.
Okay, so nobody. I mean, Page put his foot across towards his side. Now he's sitting there going, I called it the whole time, boys. I've got it. Don't worry. And beelining north. Do they go to the no lean town? Surely not. They're going to go straight towards the little granny house. But Diggory got caught on the way through because everyone is moving. Rustamar, I don't know, silently moving away, just trying to pretend he ain't in that vehicle. But this is insanity, Rich.
That's absolutely crazy. And it's even wilder to think that Ents were up here for the entirety of the time, and then finally they're the first ones that lose a player. Everyone just starts barreling around. Wait, Rustamar's going to go for the res? He's snuck under the radar. He's let everyone go past first and gone for a massive 2-2. Look at the migration. Everybody is fully sending it. Liquid have already bypassed Ents and taken one down. They might have to do the same again. They've committed. I don't think you
can't crash it.
Maybe you can.
There's a shack. There is a shack.
They're looking towards it, but no, they've lost one. They're still good. That's it. Full commitment, game on, job done. Through the barricade, looks out the back. The damage's already done. There is a follow-up there. Another player lingering around the corner. A good lean. Would be phenomenal and fantastic for Liquid. The rest events need to get here fast if they want any chance.
They can't.
But I don't think it's worth it. A 2-man band cannot tackle this alone.
If Liquid can stabilize fast enough, they're golden. If someone else saw this happening, like TM maybe, they could pile into this. I'm surprised that Liquid committed to that, but maybe they scouted out well enough. Maybe they noted that one of Ents got knocked somewhere, and now was the time. This was the shack I thought they were going to go for. I thought they were going to pull up to where we're seeing, Tokyo kind of go towards, but actually Liquid is still going for this one. Clips in danger. Still on his feet. How's he getting away with this one? Liquid going to hit that reverse and try and get in the compound. Get their heads down for a second. Take a breath at this point. As now TM take the hillside just south of them. You've got SMB over by the petrol station near Heroic side almost. You can see them very, very similar in position.
Probably just maybe stay out of vision of DA, but the rocks will not be fully in. So if they can keep going further down, there will be teams upwind of this. Straight out the car. That's decent. Daboom to help him out as well. So Aitzy works together alongside him in tandem. Nades are there and damage is done. Through the window we go, but he comes out, says peekaboo. Thank you very much. And they catch them in open water. No chance for resuscitation. but still a hold for now.
I'm seeing if VP can make this actually playable. It's for now. I think teams are trying to work out. Okay, do we have line of sight? Do we have an angle? Beamy does. He's caught Lou, and now Team Liquid actually on the other side of things. This is far north, finding question mark. A couple of nades coming down. Liquid should have been able to rebolster their supply over the couple of boxes they found en route, and yeah, they will absolutely litter the floor with it. Aduzi's already received his fair share of damage. You can see Dante still there, one towards that little bit of a shack trying to play out of it. James is en route as well. Now, Fate is watching over this, and there it is. Great shot from Fate further afield, looking over, trying to keep some sort of tabs on what's going down, trying to stay relevant to the fight, because he's not quite there in person. I don't know how resable Ibby will be. It looks like he should be able to get back on his feet here, but this has slowed the push. Oh, that's a great nade, fall asleep. Don't know if you're going to be able to do much about it. Hey, he's actually fine. It's just on the cusp of those stairs. Molly goes in. Flash goes out, he's just trying to buy time, he has to go out and fight, he has to go and face the music, and maybe he can get it done. No. Mexi's nade that time was good enough. We see pushes further afield. Galacticos have been moving up towards SMB, they've taken that space away from them, and taken them out at this point.
QM spend the last of their smokes and hope that this rock can provide some sort of safety net. They're in the mix. They're actually in the thick of it, to be fair. Gear Up's just pulling up behind them also. Veneer in the distance. Faultlessly bleeding out the wayside, Liquid directly in front of him. Supermassive just trying to stay alive. Also kind of same situation that QM finds himself within. Just deep down below everybody at the footholds here in the trenches, hoping for any kind of stability. Honestly, I don't think you're going to get it. It's such an open water fight, really. There's nothing else you can do, and I can already see in the back. Just look towards.
How did Dante's nade go that far?
What? I don't know, but he's going for a second one. If they move into the... Oh my god, it's underneath his feet. Oh, Ibby. So much damage is done, and that faults them for all but a moment. It will give them... Probably, actually, this will pay off for FaZe. They can get behind Gear Up now and maybe try and just stab them in the back where their vision is turned away, but Gear Up is taking the fight to them. Look at this. They've all turned tail. They realize what's coming behind them. It's time to fight, and FaZe is here.
Yeah, FaZe is certainly there. The Molotov going to confirm that suspicion. Gear Up needs to really pay attention. And they do. They at least find FuzzFace, but all the trades are looking still pretty effective for FaZe. And Schofield having to accept whatever's being dictated to them. Ruptures on the other side. Liquid do clear through question mark. We saw that over towards the north. They eventually got past it. And beyond that, we're still seeing VP being a problem here. They're trying to play this little bit of plateaued out ground. Heroic are on the other side, and at least with a knock, it does buy them a second or two, even at the cost of Perfectic's life at this junction. We have to look at who's in the circle. DA barely in this, Veneer somewhat in this, Heroic no longer are. FaZe and Liquid fighting in the north. This is such a bloodied battle between everyone here. FaZe do get past Gear Up, and did they lose players? I think they got a knock, but they did lose a player. VP on the pull-up now, trying to do what they can. And actually, I think they got a team kill, and that's not ideal by any means. And I think that might be VP pretty much done for. And I think maybe Batulins might be around, and not for long. Yeah, going to be found by the nade in the end. Another nade's now come down. Heroic within range here to try and get some connection because they need to start moving. This should be their next target. That's a good nade. How is Lyron alive?
So much damage is done. Heroic solidify their fate. Flamey comes in onto Pixel. That's in the distance. Liquid have got a big old maneuver to... They're going to go around all of this. Lazar spots him. That's a fair old amount of damage done. That makes so much noise, though. And all of a sudden, coming down the hill, look at T-Bone. He's rattling off in the distance. By goes the vehicle. But my word, so many players have just gone down. And that's all off the back of Lazar just kicking and screaming, making so much noise. Liquid had nowhere else to go. The ground here is just not meant for this amount of teams. So deadly, so nasty, and now it's FaZe next on the chopping block, but is it Veneer? No, Flamey answers back and holds them. First one will go down and swings around, doesn't realize there's someone around the corner. Maybe he does. Goes in for it, and there is Veneer. One more left standing somewhere lurking, but this has been so deadly. Oh. And they're gone and buried.
The beast from the mist just came flying on through. Gustav, luckily, was very much paying attention. Now, another bite of the cherry for DA. 4 alive, late game. They have to make up for the fumble they had before. They had a really good position last time. Now they've got to do just a little step further. They have to make the most of this. Heroic are hyper-focused. That Molly is just on clip. They're both burning alive. Heroic are doing so much damage here, but it is just 2 of them. Cure and Beanie trying to work their way around this. James is just staying low right now. He's trying to stay out of this. FaZe already looking this way. Q's going to be super careful here. He could be visible on this. Beanie just got found by Fexx. Yeah, they are super visible. Yes, they get past Liquid, but at what cost? It's just Cure alone. Yeah, he's got a load of boxes to pick up from. FaZe have all 4 alive, 13 kills. DA, you better deliver right now, boys. This is your game to do something with. You had great positioning on the adjustment. You were one of the first through to take a good compound. But FaZe have just ripped apart teams en route. They are the titans in your path. And now look at this position, actually. That circle update has played well for Aitzy in this. How does DA try and get around that, though?
This is the same kind of stumbling block which DA had to face off previously. All 4 players alive, but the circle was absolutely not with them. They're forced to rotate off the back. They'll use the vehicles, use the smoke, so they've kind of set something up here, at least to try and make their way towards this circle. They're going for the cars, and rightfully so. There's even a drop in the middle, which might be the play. Hit the drop with the cars and build something off the back of that. It's not much, but you'll take anything that you can get your hands on at the moment. Heroic goes down, and it all comes down to one individual on the side of SMB to try and keep them alive. Lazar, the one who did strike towards Liquid and really open up their treacherous arrival just below Heroic previously. Tags and damage done. Remember, DA, this would be their first win and puts us into another winner across 10 different games. If not, FaZe could be the first team to do the double.
It's looking likely with Fexx doing that, claiming Vard's life. And you could see that DA were desperate to get Lazar out of that position, but he's not moving. If they could have removed Lazar, they could have maybe got a nice wrap on FaZe potentially. But Lazar is proning down. He is not leaving. That's why he's got 8 kills. He's played a great game from this position. He's not just that quiet snake waiting for like one chance. He has been fragging out from here. Vehicles now being targeted. Going to make it harder work for DA. Speaking of vehicles, I think Pixel is in one.
I love the smoke position to actually allow Fexx to take
Fexx is up top. It's so good.
Yeah, a higher angle. Oh, that's
Game
interesting.
On. They've got to push. They have to do something with this. They can't just let this be a res. They've got to find that next layer. Otherwise, you're constantly at a disadvantage. You've got to try and make a play. Fexx is playing a dangerous game because Lazar could be a problem. Fexx can't see what we can see. The smoke is still pretty rife, and Pixel gets a flush as well. Now, FuzzFace, Fexx, Gustav have to be on red alert here. You can now see who's pushed up on the other side. Yojong right there. They have absolutely closed the gap. FaZe maybe took their eyes away from the prize for a second, and now they'll burn for it. Gemty finding FuzzFace. Now bear in mind, Lazar's still out in the distance somewhere, but DA are at the doorstep. They've absolutely broken the back of FaZe here. This was so different. This is such a different look. Gustav is still in the grass, though. Do they expect it? No, they do not. Gustav with 2, maybe saving FaZe again. Finally gets found by Gemty. Fexx still stands in a 1v1 here for everything. He's gone for the flash. What a brave boy. Gets that underhand. Lazar still waiting. Now just absolutely lapping up these moments going, this is looking possible. Fexx just ate that flash so badly. He is blind as anything. You can see it. He has no idea. Going to go for the right side. Gemty now on the peak. Fexx on the push around. And you can see the background. Lazar is still just waiting this out. He's going to play this to the end. Fexx just found Gemty, the wild spraying. Lazar, it's game on. You can do something with this now. Broken Vest, no smokes, no anything left to play with. Him against Fexx, against the world. 12 kills, 8 are his, 6 for Fexx for FaZe. This is unbelievable scenes. And the circle, it plays well to Lazar too. Fexx is further out in this. He has to work forward. He's picked up some smokes. He tries to make the run. Lazar goes down! And what a clutch from Fexx.
That just went from 0 to 60 in the blink of an eye. FaZe were looking strong, but the nades, the utility usage from DA is impeccable. It does so much damage. Gustav, again, to clutch it when the time matters most, to hold them back against the wall, is pivotal in winning that battle out. It turns into a 1 versus 1, of course. If there was a man who can, it would be Fexx. The nade at the end. I mean, it was touch and go. Like 1 more, really 2 more shots away from that mini on the side of Lazar. He was playing an insane game. He must have been gobsmacked. Like, how has this gone?